Okay, so the first card you have, your past, is the High Priestess. Beautiful, beautiful card. This is one of my favorite cards. Very spiritual. Yeah, beautiful card. Very peaceful. And you're a very, very spiritual person. I always see that. Okay, so what I'm getting here is there's definitely a connection here. It feels like a really super, super strong connection, and it feels like a very spiritual connection. It feels a bit distant. It might be that you're physically separated from them, but you're not spiritually separated. And I never say this, I'm really feeling this very strongly. I never talk about soulmates, twin flames, anything like that. But what I do know is, and I don't like using those words, but what I do know is, and I'm feeling this really strongly here, there's a connection, and no matter what happens, it's there. It's just there. It's always there. Just like, you know, the sky is always there. It's always there. So no matter what problems are there, no matter whether there's distance or whatever there is, the connection is always there. Even if you're not talking, it's still there. And, you know, I think there's a big difference between you on the surface. You know, a lot of people who would see you together, for example, they might think something like, oh, they don't go together. They're opposites. But that's on the surface. That's appearances. You know, your connection and what brings you together. Again, even if you're not physically together, I don't think you are at this time, you're spiritually together. You feel that. I think they do as well. Actually, I know they do. Very deep connection. It's not on the outside. It's not on the surface. It's on the inside. And you know it's there. They know it's there. I don't think other people understand this, or, you know, it might be that you're keeping this connection to yourself, you know, because the High Priestess can be about secrets, keeping things to yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to try and show you. This might make sense, it might not. I'm going to show you how I'm seeing this connection. Very, very, very beautiful. So if you look at this High Priestess, the bottom of her dress, it looks a little bit like waves and ripples in the water kind of going up and down, and it makes me think of a beach. That's what it makes me think of, the edge of the water kind of rippling, you know, when the tide comes in and it goes out again, and it's kind of blue, and then there are these little white ripples coming in and out. So, okay, so I hope this is going to make sense. Okay, so, because I want you to hear this. It's a little bit abstract, so, okay. So to me, one of you represents the water and the other one represents the sky. And to a lot of people, the sky and the water are completely separate. You know, one's obviously up in the air, and the seas, or most of the water on the earth, is kind of underneath ground level. But, you know, if you've ever been, I don't know if you have, but if you've ever been swimming in the sea, I have. And, you know, there've been times when I've been swimming in the sea and it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful day. When I've been on holidays, not here obviously, it's a horrible day all the time, but where there's blue sky and the water's totally blue as well, absolutely beautiful, and you're out there swimming and there's nothing out there, there's nothing there, you can't see any trees, you can't see anything, just water and sky. It's like that in Greece, absolutely beautiful. And you're out there by yourself, really, really calm, and you look at the horizon, and there's a moment there when there's no difference between the sky and the sea. They blend in together. You can see this merging of the two. That's if you're really looking. That's if you're really still, if you're by yourself. And that's what this High Priestess is all about. Being still, being by yourself, being spiritual. So, you know, you're one. That's what I'm seeing. The sky and the sea are one. So you are one. You're blending, you're merging, just like the sea and the sky. And I think it might be you that's coming up as the water here right now, because I'm picking up on a lot of emotion around you. And I just want you to look at this card again. I think I'll put the details on my Instagram. I do that sometimes because I want everyone to see the details. There's a curtain behind this priestess. And, you know, what we can see just around the edges a little bit is that it's blue behind there. So the sky's behind there. So this love connection isn't with you right now, because I'm seeing that distance. They haven't shown themselves to you for a while, I think. But this curtain's going to come down at some point. And when that happens, that's when you'll see them again physically. You're emotional, you're the water. They're the sky. That's what I'm getting. And the two are going to meet again at some time. So I hope that's not too strange for you, but that's how I was seeing that. So I just wanted to explain that to you. Okay, so the next card you have your past, the King of Cups. So yeah, again, same as what I'm seeing, or similar to what I was seeing in the High Priestess. You've been keeping a lot of your feelings to yourself, or you've been keeping this kind of love connection to yourself, not really saying a lot. And there's all this water flowing all around this king, but we can't quite see how he's feeling. He's got a bit of a poker face. We can't tell if he's happy or sad or missing someone, what he's feeling. And I'm not saying you're a poker face, but you know, you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things going on in your life. You've got work. I think you might be caring for someone as well. And so you can't always kind of go around being all emotional all the time. You have to do other things. Yeah, I'm seeing someone taking care of you. This is just something else I'm seeing. Someone took care of you in your past, maybe when you were growing up. And I think you share a lot with them. So if this resonates, I can really feel a lot of love coming from this person, love and appreciation. It's really radiating from whoever this is. So it's really beautiful. So I just want you to know that if you do, if someone took care of you when you were younger, I should say, and now you're kind of taking care of them now, you see a lot of them now, they love you and they appreciate you. So that was just what I just saw in there. So I wanted to tell you that as well. But yeah, you've got work, you know, you've got things to do. And, you know, you can't just sit around talking about this person who's away from you all the time. So on the surface, it's like you're trying to sort of compartmentalize this. And you're doing a good job of that. You do this a lot, actually, because you have a lot of responsibility in your work. I see that all the time. And so, yeah, another interesting thing in this card is, I'm just seeing this, so I just want to tell you this as well. Just to the left of this king, you know, there's a dolphin just on the left-hand side. And dolphins, obviously, they jump in and out of the water. They go from the sea to the sky again. And they do that effortlessly. I'm trying to say the word effortlessly. So to me, you know, effortless movement from the sea to the sky, that's another little sign there in this card of how strong this connection is between you, because you're the sea and they're the sky. So just seeing that again, I just want to point that out to you. All right, so I'll go on to the next card now. So the last card you have, you pass the Hermit. Okay, so I don't know if you were, I don't know if you were visiting someone recently. It might be this person you care about in the King of Cups. I'm actually seeing a long drive here, maybe even an overnight drive, or some kind of driving at night or something. If this resonates, I think this driving or any other time that you've had to yourself, it was really good for you having this time to yourself. I don't think you've had a lot of time to yourself, so it was a rare thing for you, and it was almost like a treat for you, actually. A lot of people don't like being alone. They don't like being alone in their thoughts, especially if they're going through problems. But I think for you, you like to work your way through things or work your way out of things. And, you concentrate a lot on your work and you concentrate on your work to get your mind on your work and off your emotions. Not all the time, but if you're struggling with something emotional, you do that a lot, I think. And, it works. It works on a practical level because, you get a lot done. And obviously, it's healthier than drinking your way out of things or smoking your way out of things. But, you've had this time to yourself, I think. That's what I'm seeing here in the Hermit card. And whether that's driving or whatever it is. And I think you've been having a lot of deep thoughts, really thinking very, very deeply. And, with the new decade, a lot of people are reassessing their lives and having these kinds of thoughts. And I think you might have come to some kind of realization maybe that, yes, this is a very deep connection. The feelings are very deep here. I can't push them out of my mind. I can't hide my feelings in my work or anything else. Because I think while you're working, you do bury yourself into that. Because you've had this time by yourself and away from that. That's kind of made you think more deeply about this connection. So I have to tell you this, if this is resonating with you. They know this as well. They have very, very deep feelings as well. They feel very connected to you as well on a very, very spiritual level. I just feel as if I have to tell you that again. Okay, so I'm going to move on from that. So the first card you have your presence, the Nine of Wands. Okay, so yeah, again, I keep on seeing this love connection. So, okay, so you've been through a lot in your life. This is what I'm seeing here. You've been through a lot. And they've been through a lot as well. This man's been through a lot. He's got this bandage around his head. He's been through a lot of things. So, okay, so what I'm getting here is there's some kind of financial problems, and I think they've been through a few financial problems, and I think they've had to pick themselves up a few times off the floor, actually, financially. Quite a lot of pretty bad financial struggles I'm getting here. Now, they're not hiding themselves, I'm not seeing that, but they have had a lot of setbacks financially, and I think it's really hit their confidence. You know, that they're not in hermit mode, but I think they're a bit like this man right now. You know, he's got this fence around him. He's leaning on the fence because he's just been through so much. He's so exhausted. And it's almost like he needs support. He needs this wand and the fence and all of that for support. So he's leaning on the wand. And, you know, I think they're leaning on themselves. They're trying to give themselves that support. They don't want to burden you with what's happened. They don't want to burden you with their problems. And, you know, this man's a soldier. And that makes me think of that saying, soldier on. I'm going to just soldier on. I'm going to do this by myself. I'm not going to ask for any help. So it looks like they're trying to cope on their own with whatever they're going through. They're trying to do this on their own. And I think, you know, because I'm seeing these problems around you as well in your past. And I think you've had a few bad experiences, you know, in your past where people have tried to take advantage of you, maybe financially as well. I've seen that before in your readings, I think. So if they know about that, if they know that you've had these problems with people trying to take advantage of you, that might be why they're not telling you about their financial problems or their money problems. Maybe they don't want you to think they're asking you for money, and I don't think they do that. But they're very sensitive. They're very worried about all of that. There's this big feeling of treading really carefully, being really careful. And I think they're always a bit like that anyway. You know, they've always held back a bit. But now I think, you know, they've got this extra money problem or this burden on top of that. And that's keeping them away. That's making them kind of stand back and think, I've got to deal with this by myself. I don't want to talk to them about this. So that's what I'm getting there. So that might be partly why they're away from you right now, or they're not coming forward, if that resonates with you. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the World. Yeah, there's going to be a reconnection between you. There is at some time, you know, because this card can be about coming all the way back around to the beginning again, you know, like coming all the way around the world and back to the start again. But I keep on getting this waiting, this holding back. And I'm seeing that in the Knight of Cups as well. So I'll talk about that as well here in this card. I'll talk about them together. But, you know, if you look at the World card and you look at the woman in the middle, she's totally free. And that's what nakedness represents in tarot. It's about freedom, you know, being able to be yourself, express yourself, having nothing to hide, all of that, totally being free. And they're coming up as the opposite of freedom. They're hiding behind a fence like the man in the Nine of Wands. So it looks like they're waiting until they're out of this kind of financial mess or whatever it is they're going through. And yeah, they're trying to work their way out of something. I'm seeing that. And there's a laurel wreath around this woman as well. And obviously that represents victory. So it's like they're waiting for their victory. They're waiting for their victory. They're waiting for an end to this so they can be free like this woman. And that's when I think they're thinking of coming forward. That's the plan, I think. And there's a real conflict between what's going on in their head and what's happening in their heart, because they know they're connected to you. Their feelings know that. They know they have this really amazing spiritual connection with you. And I hardly ever see that. It's very, very strong. But it looks like they're trying to put their practical side first. That's coming out first. They're putting practical things over their emotions right now. They're trying to. And yeah, with the Knight of Cups, there's definitely love there. You know, the Knight's holding this cup, which represents love, obviously, emotion. but he's not coming up to the river. There's a river there, that's where the emotions are. And the other thing with this knight is he looks really perfect. He's all dressed up. So again, I think they're probably waiting until things are right. They're probably waiting until things are perfect, until they come and connect with you again. That's what I'm getting. You know, this really frustrates me actually, because for one, I can really feel and I can really see this connection. And, you know, really, if that's there, they should make that, if it's there spiritually, they should make it physically happen. That's what I'm getting. It frustrates me. And also, there's no such thing as perfection. You can go around looking for perfection everywhere, but there's no such thing. Nothing's ever perfect. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect circumstance. If you want someone, you really should go and connect with them. So, but that's what's happening with them, I think. And, you know, so, you know, I don't want to say any more about this because it's really frustrating me. You know, I'm an Aries, and if I want to be with someone, I will. So that's why this is frustrating me. But all I can see is there is going to be a connection at some time. For me, I just want this to hurry up, really. But that's just me. But there is something beautiful here. There really, really is. You know that anyway. So, okay, I'm going to go on because it's frustrating. So the first card you have for your futures, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so there's something totally different here, which I'm really relieved about. So there's a lot of clarity here. Super, super sharp clarity. Clarity of your mind. Very clear, very sharp. You're doing something where you're going to need that clarity in your mind. So I'm seeing something to do with writing here. And it feels like you're almost at the end of this, whatever this is. It's a really big thing, I think. It means a lot to you. Writing words. I keep on seeing that, writing words. So if this resonates, if you're almost at the end of writing something, yeah, this is what I'm getting. There's a temptation to just sort of say, oh, well, that's over. I just want to get it out now. I've worked really hard on this. I'm really tired. I just want to get it out. That's the temptation. And you've got the King of Swords here as well. And the King of Swords can be about, you know, attention to detail. It can be really overly fussy sometimes. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the two of them here. I'm going to talk about this and the King of Swords as well here. So, yeah, it might be a dissertation you're working on, might be studying here. And okay, so the warning I'm getting here with this is, with this temptation of just wanting to get this out, there might be a few things you've missed. Not big mistakes or anything like that. I'm just seeing little things, little annoying things, small mistakes. Now, if you have time, if you have a bit of time left, and even if you don't, try and make some time if you can. See if you can get a bit of extra time. And if you can get that extra time, whether you give it to yourself or whether you ask for that time, if it's something you're studying, if you have to kind of increase a deadline or something, don't panic if you can't. Just do whatever you can. But don't go straight in as soon as you finish this to see if you can find what's wrong with it. Because my feeling is that, you know, you'll probably be really, really tired when you get to the end. That's what I'm seeing. And you might not be able to see things properly. So, you know, go for a walk or something. See if you can get a rest, go to sleep, do something. And then when you feel fresher, when you're less tired, then have a look through everything after that, because I think you'll find a few little things there that you missed. Again, they're not big, terrible things. They're just little things, little annoying things. And you want to make it as right as you can, I think. But, you know, whatever this is, the end result looks really, really positive. I'm actually seeing two people looking at this. So I don't know if they're publishers or if they might be marking things, if this is an assignment. Again, I'm seeing studying here. But yeah, very, very positive result. Look at this crown. That's what it's leading you to, this crown. And, you know, I have to say this, if this is you, don't worry, it's going to be okay. The end result's going to be good. There's a lot of stress here, so I just feel as if I have to tell you that. And with the King of Swords again, this is going to open up some really, really good opportunities for you, new opportunities. I'm seeing freedom around this. There are butterflies here, birds, and he's on top of a mountain. So it's going to elevate you in some way. It's going to put you up on another level. And I'm seeing people listening to you a lot more after you've done this. I don't know why, but they're going to listen to you and talk to you a lot more, ask for your advice, all of that kind of thing. So there's a lot of positivity around this. So try not to worry, because I keep on picking up on this stress, even a bit of anxiety. It's going to be fine. It's going to be better than fine. So try to rest around this. Don't worry too much around this, but try and get some extra time if this is you. See if you can find out little annoying things. I think you'll pick up on a few little things now. Okay, so the last card you have for your future is the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, again, something to do with studying. The pages are students, and so I think that might be what that is. And there's money here, so this is probably going to lead to more money. Not right now, not right away, not when you're finished, but in the future, because this page is looking up to the coin, so it's going to be later on. It's like he's aspiring to have this coin. And with this love connection, I wasn't going to talk about this again, but I'm seeing it again here. I'd love to be able to tell you when this communication's coming in, but I think looking at this, you know, this is obviously Pentacles, Earth, so it's going to be a bit slow. And that frustrates me as well. I know, I hate having to say this because I want to be able to tell you when it's going to happen, but I can't see that. All I know is, from looking at this card again, they love you. They love you. Look at the way this page is looking at this coin. It looks like he's in love with the coin, actually, but he's afraid. You know, he's holding it really delicately. He doesn't want to drop it. So yeah, I know this is probably really frustrating for you. It's frustrating for me, so it must be for you. There is going to be communication at some time, but you know, I'm seeing this everywhere here. I think they're just waiting. They're waiting for things to be right. They're waiting for that perfection. Perfection isn't going to come, but they are going to communicate at some time. I won't repeat myself because I'm just frustrating myself.